Right. So today we're going deep, like really deep,
Right.
into a topic that I think a lot of us have thought about,
Yeah.
faith and logic. How do they fit together? Do they?
Pink question.
Big questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to be diving into this based on
A video.
a video
Yes.
clip that really got me thinking, I got to say. I think it'll get you thinking too.
This one is a thinker for sure.
So basically, this video clip, it features a speaker who's not trying to say, like, whether God exists or not.
Right.
But they're using
Think historic
a historical event to
Yeah.
kind of question those traditional,
attributes.
those things that we kind of just accept,
Yeah.
about God.
Right. Like the classic sort of description.
Exactly.
All-knowing, all-powerful, all good.
Yeah, exactly. And the historical event, the Lisbon earthquake of 1755, not just anything.
Oh, yeah. Massive. Just absolutely massive.
I mean, this thing shook Europe, literally and figuratively. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not just the physical devastation, which we'll get to,
Right.
but the philosophical and theological
Yeah.
shockwaves. I mean, people are really grappling with what does this mean for our understanding of God?
Yeah, for sure.
If there is a God.
And so for people who maybe don't know
Right.
or haven't thought about this event in a while, can you kind of set the scene for us?
Okay, so picture it, right? It's All Saints' Day, November 1st, 1755, one of the holiest days of the year.
Churches are packed.
Churches are packed full of people, right? And Lisbon, at this time, it's a major city.
It's like one of the most important cities in Europe.
The wealthiest cities in Europe, really the center of power, culture,
Hog face.
and faith.
Yeah.
So you've got this incredibly devout city on this incredibly holy day. And then out of nowhere, boom, this massive earthquake hits.
Are we talking like a couple of seconds or?
Oh, no. We're talking minutes.
Minutes?
Some accounts say as long as 6 minutes. Oh, my God.
It was just relentless shaking.
So buildings are just crumbling.
Fires erupt. And then to make matters even worse, a tsunami.
A tsunami?
Yeah, follows the earthquake.
Oh, wow.
Engulfing the city. Can you imagine? You survive the earthquake.
Yeah.
And then this giant wave.
Unbelievable.
So the death toll, estimated somewhere around 80,000 people.
80,000. That's almost incomprehensible.
In a city of 200,000.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned it briefly, but I just keep thinking.
Yeah.
It's All Saints' Day.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people are in churches, which would have been.
Right, which at the time would have been, some of the tallest, most elaborate buildings.
It probably just collapsed.
Yeah. And so you can see how an event like this, in this context, would just completely shake people's faith.
And that brings us back to the speaker in this video, right?
Yeah.
Because they take this event, this horrific event, and they say, okay, let's assume for a second that God is
all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good.
Right.
How do you
square that with
this? If God is all-knowing, he knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And if he's all-powerful, he could stop it.
Right.
And if he's all good, why would he let this happen? Especially on All Saints' Day to, all these people in church.
Yeah. And this is what's known as the problem of evil.
Okay.
Right, or theodicy.
Theodicy, okay.
Which is essentially the attempt to reconcile the existence of evil and suffering with the idea of a benevolent God.
Yeah.
And the Lisbon earthquake, as you can imagine, really brought this question to the forefront.
I bet.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, like, does it make you question?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a question that every person of faith has to grapple with at some point because we all experience suffering.
Right.
We all see suffering in the world.
And I mean, I guess that's kind of what's so powerful about what the speaker in the video is doing.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily providing an answer.
Right.
But it's like they're saying, look at this, look at this,
Think about this.
And wrestle with this.
Yeah.
And
it's okay to not have easy answers.
Yeah.
To sit with those questions and to acknowledge that, maybe our understanding is limited.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like a puzzle.
Sure.
And maybe we don't have all the pieces, but we can still
examine the pieces.
Look at the pieces we have and try to make sense of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess that's kind of the big takeaway here, right?
Yeah.
That one single event, the Lisbon earthquake, can just spark all these
huge
questions about faith, about God, about suffering, about
how we understand the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess the question for all of us listening is,
What are our
Then
Lisbon earthquakes? What are those events?
Or even our personal experiences.
Yeah, that really challenge us to think differently.
Yeah.
About these big concepts.
Fit our beliefs in a whole new light.
Absolutely.
And it could be anything, right? It could be a personal tragedy. It could be something we see in the news.
Something we read about.
Something we read about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that kind of shakes us and makes us say, wait a minute, what does this mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's a great place to leave it, I think.
I think so.
To just kind of sit with these questions, these ideas.
Explore.
Explore them. Explore them on your own. Maybe talk about them with somebody else.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been, well, it's been deep.
It has.
But I hope it's been thought-provoking. And, yeah.
And maybe a little bit unsettling.
A little bit unsettling, but in a good way.
Yeah.
That makes us, question and learn and grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.